I'm Bunny Cakes, and welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of my ginormous book haul. Apparently I've bought a lot of books in the last couple of weeks or months, and I was just realizing that I have so many, so I figured I'd come back and make some content. And then, of course, I need to at some point go through my books and donate them to the library, and I might film some book unhauls as far as that goes. So let's get started here with this one. We're going to start with Stephen King. I got the 30th anniversary edition of Dolores Claiborne, which is one I've not read, but it's going to be a great addition to my Stephen King library, as you well know, probably from the last video. I've been adding to my collection of Stephen King content for a while now. Then I also got the 25th anniversary edition of Bag of Bones by Stephen King. So again, another lovely addition that I haven't read to my Stephen King content. And then next I have So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. This one is, it's about Eric. Eric hadn't thought much about what would happen after he completed the prophecy that said he was destined to save the kingdom of Air from its evil rulers. So now that he's finally managed to, somewhat clumsily, behead the king, he and his ragtag group of quest companions aren't sure what to do next. As a temporary safeguard, Eric's best friend and mage, Matt, convinces him to assume the throne until the true heir can be rescued from her tower. Except she's dead. And now Eric is stuck as king, a role that comes with a magical catch. Choose a soul to mate by your 18th birthday or wither away to nothing. With his 18th birthday only 3 months away and only Matt in on the secret, Eric embarks on a desperate bid to find a spouse to save his life, starting with his quest companions. But his attempts at wooing his friends go painfully and hilariously wrong until he discovers that love might have been in front of him all along. So this sounds like it's going to be a really good story. I'm actually not sure if this is part of a series or not, so I'm going to have to dig into that. Sometimes I just pick up books because they sound good, and this one is kind of D&D-esque. So that hits my nerd vibes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this, and this may even be my next read. I don't know. It's kind of hitting me in a spot that I need. Okay, and then the next book I have is actually a 2-in-1 by Ren Capicho? Not sure. It is The Girl from the Well and The Suffering. So in The Girl from the Well, the dead do not always rest. Okiku knows anger and pain. They are what she has felt before her life was brutally taken from her more than 300 years ago. Now a restless spirit, she wanders seeking out those who viciously take the lives of children. Okiku always gets her revenge, and she has no remorse for the wicked. In The Suffering, the darkness will find you. 17-year-old Tark knows what it is to be powerless, but Akiko changed that. A restless spirit who ended life as a victim and started death as an avenger. She's groomed Tark to destroy evil, but when darkness pulls them deep into Aokigahara, known as Japan's Suicide Forest, Okiku's justice becomes blurred, and Tark is the one who will pay the price. So these also sound like really, really good stories that I'm interested in reading. So yeah, hopefully this is as good as it sounds, and I don't know when I'm going to get around to reading that because I have so many books, but we'll get there eventually. This next one I actually picked up at the Dollar Tree. It's called The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. I hope I'm not mangling that name too badly. So this one is about Balaram Halwai, who is a poor Indian villager whose great ambition leads him to the zenith of Indian business culture. the world of the Bangalore entrepreneur. On the occasion of the President of China's impending trip to Bangalore, Balaram writes a letter to him describing his transformation and his experience as driver and servant to a wealthy Indian family, which he thinks exemplifies the contradictions and complications of Indian society. The White Tiger is narrative genius with a mischief and personality all its own. Amoral, irreverent, deeply endearing, and utterly contemporary, this novel is an international publishing sensation and a startling, provocative debut. So this is also apparently a Netflix movie, which I'm going to have to look up after I read the book. But yeah, definitely interested in this one, and I do apologize if I mangled any of the names here. I only speak English fluently, and while I do try to pronounce things correctly, it's hard when you've only ever read them and not seen them, so I apologize for any misspellings or mispronunciations of names. The next book I have is by James Patterson and Richard DeLallo. It's called The Ninth Month, and the tag on the cover says, "What wouldn't a mother do to save her unborn child?" So this is about Emily Atkinson. So here's the book, because I keep forgetting to hold these up where you can see them. Emily Atkinson leads a complicated life in New York City. She is a successful marketing executive who lives in a luxury apartment and enjoys a glamorous existence. Until she lands in the hospital with a double diagnosis, she parties too much and she's pregnant. Her nurse and her new best friend, Betsy, helps her to rediscover how much she loves morning runs in the park and quiet nights at home. But as a series of women in her wealthy social circle go missing, Emily's pregnancy becomes decidedly high risk. Soon Emily realizes that she's a killer's target. She doesn't know why, but she's certain about one thing: she'll do anything to protect her unborn child. I don't read a lot of James Patterson because his books tend to be a bit formulaic to me, but this sounds interesting, and he's written it with somebody else, so I figured I'd give it a chance. Alright, and then the next book I have in my haul here is The Murder Game by Carrie Doyle. This one is about Luke Chase. Luke Chase never wanted to get caught up in a murder. When his roommate Oscar convinces Luke to break the rules and sneak out of their boarding school dorm one night, it sounds like fun. They'll meet up with a couple of girls in the forest, have a good time, and no one will ever know. But when the wife of one of their teachers is found dead in the woods the next morning, Luke realizes they're in deep trouble. Instead of admitting where they were, the group decides to solve the murder on their own. But with so many suspects, will they be able to catch the killer before the killer catches them? So this one sounds really interesting too. It's another young adult, but really, really sounds like something I'll get into. And then finally, another one I forgot to take the Walmart sticker off of. It's probably because this particular cover style hates to release stickers for me properly. Yeah, I'll have to do that slowly later. Is the Warrior Girl Unearthed. So this one is by Angeline Boule. We'll go with Boule. Alright. So this author also wrote The Firekeeper's Daughter. This one says on the back of it, Dr. Louisa, what may my intern hold the blade? The museum guy slides the flint blade into the notched handle before handing it to me. Resting in my palm, the blade is heavier than I thought. Substantial would be the right word. I wrap my fingers around the handle. It's a good weapon. It fits me. I'm filled with the urge to steal, to run as fast as I can with the treasure. I turn the knife handle before gently placing it on Lyra's open palm. I don't want to steal the blade. It belongs to the warrior girl. I want to steal her. And this is actually part of a series with The Firekeeper's Daughter, so I'm going to have to buy that too. I love the cover art here. It's beautiful, and The inside cover is also really pretty. I love when books are beautiful to look at as well as being beautiful to read. So this one, like I said, I'll have to buy the first book. Sometimes I pick up books and I don't know if they're part of a series or not. I'm just called to that particular book for whatever reason. And this seems to be the case for a couple of the books I've bought recently, which is another reason why buying books and reading books are two separate hobbies. So if there are any books in this particular chunk of my haul that you're interested in reading, let me know. Or if you have read them, let me know and tell me how you liked them. Without spoilers, please, because we want to keep everything spoiler-free. That way I don't get spoiled and anyone watching the review doesn't get spoiled on these books. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time listening to me. Take care of yourself and others, and always be good to yourself. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.